In Washington, D.C., if you go to the Lincoln Memorial, you will find an inscription there of an address President Abraham Lincoln made at the dedication of the Soldiers National Cemetery in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, back in November 19th, 1863. It says that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. So why is America coming apart at the seams today? Let's talk about that on your morning cup of inspiration. You may have already heard this, but every great nation has an average of 200 years before it completely collapses. Every great nation. I mean, I'm thinking of Roman Empire and even Babylon. I mean, you think of these places that were so great and that ran the world at the time, and they collapsed within about 200 years. And the study shows that each nation went through the same sequence of events. Listen to see if this doesn't sound like America. They went from spiritual faith to great courage, and from great courage to liberty. Okay, we came over here, the Pilgrims came over, and that came over from England to get away from what was going on there with the Church of England and that. So they had courage, but then they had the American Revolution, and winning their freedom, they got their freedom and their liberty. And then with great courage comes liberty, and then from liberty comes abundance. And what has happened to America ever since World War II? We've been living in an abundance. I mean, there was a time back in the 50s and 60s where it wasn't just one car for family, it was two cars for family. People were moving from the inner city out to the suburbs where they were building new homes. There was always more, one black and white TV to one color TV to two color TVs, sometimes three color TVs. We just kept having abundance. Then it says it goes from abundance to selfishness, and that's what happened to America too. Remember when it became the Gordon Gekko from Wall Street? You know, it's about greed. It's about selfishness, and that was where we were at going into the 70s, 80s, shy of the 90s, and then from selfishness to complacency, where we're just complacent with everything, and then from complacency to apathy, where we don't care, and from apathy to dependency, which is where we're at right now, because we're expecting the government to do everything for us, and that's what it's leading to. But then from dependency, you fall back into bondage again, because another nation is going to take over, or somebody's going to take over and rule you. I don't think Americans realize this whole sequence of events and how it happens, but I believe many more don't even care, and that's the bad part. All great civilizations collapsed from within, and I remember Nikita Khrushchev as a kid. I remember seeing him taking his shoe, hitting it on the podium at the United Nations and yelling, "We will bury you from within." Isn't that what's happening today? We are crumbling from within, but we're crumbling from within because of moral decay. See, the Bible tells us in 2 Chronicles 7:14, and we all know this, that if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven and forgive them their sins and restore their land. We've heard it over and over, but nobody's doing that. The problem is that more and more people are turning their back on God instead of humbling themselves before him. We need to get back to God, the God of our founding fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one and only true God, because he's the only one that can save America. God bless everyone. Look forward to seeing you again for another morning cup of inspiration. Have a wonderful day.